Welcome to On the RoadCast, snacks, trucks, and rock and roll.
We are, as you can tell by this beautiful background, in a music store, but not any music store. It's the best music store there's ever been. Klangfarbe Wien. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is great.
And we also have the best guest.
The guest best.
Damn it, I fucked up. Best guest there's ever been.
Oh, well,
It's
thank you.
Pete.
Hi, everybody.
Robertson. Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for
Thank you for
coming.
being
Thanks
on
for
our podcast.
the music store for having us. This is pretty cool. A lot of great old vintage guitars in here.
It also, I mean, people won't know because this is not 4D, but it smells like a sauna in here because it's, what is it?
And it's
like
a cedar
It
wood
smells like cedar.
humidifier, and it
because of
is
the
as hot as a
fancy
sauna.
guitars
Like
in
your
this room.
grandmother's closet.
Yeah.
Isn't that patchouli? Is it cedar? Is it like the goth scent of the 80s
don't
that would be
know.
patchouli?
My grandma didn't never smell like that, so I don't know.
Mine neither. Mine wore Chanel number 5.
Same.
That's where you got it.
Classic
Same.
grandma.
My mom was a Jeanette.
What is that?
Another, like, it's just another perfume.
Oh shit! Well, Pete knows more about perfumes than I do.
Oh,
I
I don't
once
know about
puked
that.
because of the scent of Chanel number 5. This is a fun fact. I was so drunk, I was partying. I put on Chanel number 5, and by the end of the night, I was so sick of it that I puked.
Oh.
So I can't do Chanel number 5. Anyways,
Don't smell your grandma then.
no,
No.
yeah, I can't
No.
anymore. She passed away. Miss you, Grandma.
Aw.
Anyway, enough about puking and dead grandmas as an introduction for this amazing podcast episode. We have, again, Pete Robertson here. Pete, tell us about yourself. What the fuck are you doing here?
I'm over here on tour with the Dropkick Murphys.
Cool band.
I love them.
Amazing band.
Yeah, it's great. It's a nice big family vibe. I've been with
Love
them. This year will be 12 years this summer.
Wow.
I've been with them full time.
Oh my God. Okay.
But yeah, I just I kind of stumbled into it. And, a friend of mine was their production manager and guitar tech for years, and he kept asking me to come and do sound. And I was always busy with other bands at the time. And then I just the band I was working with full time was off doing a record. Dropkick had like a little 2-week summer tour, so I went and did it. Had a blast. They asked me back to do a sporting event in Boston. Came and did that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Which-
that was fun. We did Game 6 of the World Series.
Oh shit.
Did the national anthem.
That's
on
yet
plate.
to. I do. That's on my bucket list. Really,
It was a-
like big sporting event.
It was so
That
much
was so
fun.
cool.
And then I jumped in the following year to do their annual St. Patrick's Day tour, and management came to me and said, "Hey, look, we heard that you're going back to your regular band at the end of this and not coming back." He's like, "We don't want you to leave. What will it take to get you to stay?"
How much?
And it was great. I had so much fun, but it was hard. It was hard saying goodbye because it was Cannibal Corpse that I was with.
Oh no way.
Yeah, so I was with
full
Cannibal
circle.
for 5 years.
That's crazy. You've done it all.
So it was really hard to leave them because they were like family also. And I
Cannibal.
still stay in touch with them.
Shout out to the guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's been 12 years now, and this is wrapping up the European tour right now.
How many shows did you do?
I want to say we did 18 shows.
That's a nice
Solid.
little run.
Yeah, and then we're wrapping it up. We did 2 nights in Munich, 2 nights here in Vienna. Tomorrow night is Berlin, and then we fly home on Sunday.
And they're playing Gasometer. By the way, that's why we're at Klangfarbe, because it's just the same building, which
Yeah.
is super handy. Pete also pointed out before the room sounds like shit. Which I've been saying in this podcast multiple times. Sue me, but it does.
Yeah, I mean, we still had a good time. The fans had a great time.
Everyone goes in there knowing that it probably won't be the best, you know?
Yeah.
Room
But
sound
it's
good.
whatever. It's an intimate vibe in there. Everybody has a good time. You know, and we all tour, so we know that we're all our own worst critics.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes the fans...
They don't even notice. They don't bother.
No, as long as they can hear the music and they can hear the vocals, they have a good time.
And let's
True.
face it, they're probably piss drunk anyway.
I was going to say, Dropkick Murphy show, they're schmammered by the time the...
And I forgot. It's Valentine's Day
It's
today. You're on Valentine's Day.
I almost forgot. Happy Valentine's Day,
Happy
girls.
Valentine's Day. I forgot to
Yeah.
bring flowers. I suck. I'll
We'll
bring some
see.
later.
Do you think we'll have a lot of schmoozing couples in the crowd tonight?
a lot of
Us.
straight men being that
Vicky
drunk
and
that
me.
they make out with each other, and then they're like, no homo. It was just,
Yeah, that was funny. Somebody pointed out the other day, it's really ironic that the acronym for Valentine's Day is VD. So be careful on Valentine's Day.
You should. VD for the non-English speakers, venereal disease, aka the clap, aka what kind of claps is there? What kind of stuff is there?
I don't know. I don't even want to think about it.
STDs, sexual transmitted diseases. Like there's a big palette of that stuff.
It's Sexual Transmitted Disease Day, everyone.
Yeah,
That's it.
So you said you had 2 shows in Vienna, going back to the normal stuff. 2 shows in Vienna and 2 in Munich. So you're doing really good if you have 2 shows in each city.
Big venues.
Yeah. Dropkick does really well in Europe. They're bigger in Europe than they are in the States, especially Germany and France. So
France.
Yeah, surprisingly, we did a television show in France. I want to say maybe 3 years ago called Terra Tata, and it's just a national televised music show, and it's all ranges of music. But once they did that, it just kind of really launched the band even further.
Wow. Okay.
That's awesome.
And it's kind of weird with Dropkick how, for a lot of the big metal festivals like Hellfest or Wacken, they've kind of been presented to these festivals as a palate cleanser. People are there all day long with all these great metal bands.
Heavy bands.
And Dropkick still has a great amount of energy and presence, although the music is,
No one's screaming their guts out.
no. And so it's just weird seeing Dropkick put on, Hellfest, second from the top of the bill now, or Wacken,
Crazy.
same thing. So it's really launched them quite a bit. But Germany, 2 nights at the Zenith in Munich. I want to say we were at 5,000 a night for there. Both our shows in Austria are sold out. We've got a big tour coming up this fall.
Where are
in
you
Europe.
guys? Oh, Europe as well?
Yeah, we're back to Europe this fall, and that we purposely didn't play any shows in France in this tour because there's going to be, I want to say 5 or 6 pretty large shows, arena-style shows, playing like Adidas Arena in Paris, which I believe
Headliners?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, I think that's 8,000. A couple of the other, they were doing the Zenith in Nantes, which is another, 8,000 capacity room, and typically they sell them all out.
Are you still nervous when you mix those shows?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm always shitting my pants.
Yeah, same.
For
You have to
every
be.
show.
But I think that's an indicator that you still
Care about it.
You still care.
And when you say you're touring with people that feel like family to you, you want to give your absolute best and make the show sound as good as possible for them.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's also for the crowd, but it's also for the people on stage that I want to do the best job I can. So, ergo, I'm very nervous all the time.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear that even though you're so experienced and you've been doing this for so long, you're still...
It's been a long time. This is almost 30 years for me doing this. But yeah, I still get super nervous going out there. The bigger the festival, the more nervous I am. Especially, you guys have done the big festivals, it's really... there is no sound check. There is nothing. You get your gear together, you sit around all day long waiting, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, go. You've got 20 minutes to get your stuff on stage, get your mic set up, run to front of house, which is, 100 meters away.
Dude, the running I do in summers is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like a marathon runner at this point.
It's crazy. And but I think that's one of the things that really attracted me to live sound as opposed to studio, because I did studio for years as well. But the live sound aspect,
you got one chance to
you got
get
one
it right.
chance. There is no punching it in. There is no overdub.
There's no fix it in the mix later.
Nope.
It's one chance.
So you really have to be on your best game at all times, whether you're feeling good, feeling sick, tired. The tour really takes it out of you sometimes, and every day you have to get up
All
and
of those
perform.
things combined.
Yeah, or hungover.
Or that.
There is that. But no, it's great with these guys. And I see it more and more with a lot of bands. There's no separation in classes, so to speak. For Dropkick, there is no band bus and crew bus. We're all intermingled amongst the buses. We all share the dressing rooms. We're all in the same hotel.
Nice.
We have, family meals where we'll all go out. The band will take us out or whatever. So there, it's a lot of fun, and especially through the pandemic. I know a lot of people were really hurting, and Dropkick was great. They checked in with us all the time, helped us out when we needed it, got us through all the hard times, and all the crew is just can never be thankful enough to have bosses like the Dropkick guys.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
I just yesterday talked about this with my friends. Pale-Faced Wiz was playing here yesterday, and I said, you guys are such a great band because I see the way you treat your crew and you're so loyal to your crew, and it's like a big family. And same with me and like Comeback Kid or Vicky and the bands that she works for. And it's like I would always choose those environments over maybe the bigger tour, the well-paid tour or the better paid tour. I would always choose the family surrounding over anything else.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm kind of... It's been a topic for me ever since Ruskaya broke up.
Because that was the ultimate family for us.
Was it?
That was the ultimate family. I went through the Google Drive the other day and I saw pictures from shows and it just made me tear up because now it's tough. Now I do feel like because of Kenny, I do have some more friends, Flogging and Cannibal Corpse that also feel like family. I love all of these guys so much.
Yep.
But I know they're not, how should I say it? I'm a substitute. I know they're not my bands,
Sure.
And I appreciate them for having a fucking rookie like me come out with them and do
I
that.
wouldn't say you're a rookie.
Shut up.
But I'm gonna start crying here. But I'm kind of hoping that someday I will have a band again where I'm like the day-to-day go-to person that kind of confides in me, and they're like, "Oh, we're going on tour. We're gonna bring her because she's just that person to come with us."
She cares.
I do care. I do
You're gonna
give a
get all
fuck,
the job requests now after this. I'm telling you, because everyone wants a
Please
person like
adopt
that.
me. No, I feel like now with King Diamond probably that might become a
into this,
thing. You know, because I'm going back again with these guys. The crew is amazing. I love them. They're so much fun. King is great. The band is great. But it doesn't happen after 2 tours.
No.
It's a bond that just takes time. And please. If you're a band and you're nice and you want someone to do TM or merch, just hit me up. I need a new family. No, like I said, Cannibal and Flogging, they definitely feel like family. But I'm stepping in if Kenny can't.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of jealous.
It's also like the effort you put in. In Austria, there's this saying like the way you scream into the woods, it's screaming back at you. I don't know if that translates to anything in English. Anyway,
that's a thing in English. Yell,
and if you... Because then when Ruskaya split up, we were both devastated. Like, we're not going to find that anymore. And then I kind of found the band and I put in my... Like, I actually, I went out of my way for them in every possible way. And now, just the other day, I was talking on the phone with the singer. And he was like, you are the band. You are part of the band.
Oh, that's
and that was so beautiful to hear because in that moment I was like, okay, like... Everything I dreaded after Ruskaya split up, it's kind of coming back to me.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a lot of work, and I'm sure for Dropkicks,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you kind of did everything you could for 12 years.
Yeah, and it's all based on trust.
Yeah.
It takes a while for them to trust that. Living out on the road, you're exposed to everything. You're leaving all your creature comforts and your secure vibes and stepping out into the unknown. So once the band realizes that they can trust you with their lives, with their their personal stories, their personal lives, everything else, it really frees up the conversations to talk about your kids growing up or this or that. It's not always just my guitar was out of tune yesterday, or I heard from a fan that they couldn't hear the vocal on this. It becomes much more than that. And I think a lot of fans don't really understand how the tours really work and what happens behind the scenes. I think people think that it's all just glamour and party and everything else. And it's like, for a lot of us, it's really, really tough. We have families. raising kids. We're away from our loved ones. We're out of our homes. We're not sleeping in our own beds. So you need that level of trust. You need that level of camaraderie to get through your day and have a sense of normalcy. When you're sleeping on a bus at 90 kilometers a night or 90 kilometers an hour overnight, even the bus drivers, it's people that you learn to trust and learn how to exist out here, because it is a different life.
I like the word camaraderie.
Yeah.
That really hits the spot. That's what it is. And yeah, as you said, people don't really see that, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And we also like to kind of share random stories from the touring life that we have and that our guests have. And that story can be sad, it can be fun, it can be crazy, it can be whatever. Is there any story that you're like, oh, I want to share this?
This one stands out, or there's a lot of stories, I bet, and it's hard to think of those. You don't have to mention any names.
No, I mean, I definitely give a shout out to the names for example, like George Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse.
He's been in our podcast too.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite human beings in the world. But people, when they see Cannibal Corpse and or they see the graphic artwork or their album or everything else, they're very intimidating. But then once you get on the inside with them, you realize
Giant teddy bear.
The giant teddy bear. And everybody in the band is the same way, from Alex to Paul to Rob. Everybody are just the nicest people in the world,
Rutan.
Rutan. Yep.
You said Eric. Did you?
No, I was talking about Rob, but watching George, he's just the biggest teddy bear. Him and his family spend so much time at all the theme parks in Florida where they're based. But getting out on the tours, it's just it's a lot of stopping at truck stops for fuel and or these places on days off or whatever. And you see George go in, and he is the king of the claw machine. And this guy goes in, and he'll put $5 in the machine, and he'll stand there all day long and win all these toys. And at the end of the tour, we go to empty the bus, and there are 55-gallon shopping bags.
And also
garbage
fans
bags.
give it to him. Like they give him.
Yeah.
And he donates them all to children's charities, children's hospitals.
That's so great.
Everything else. So it's just, those are the fun sides of things that no one ever sees. And for a lot of people, especially for a band like Cannibal Corpse, where they are a very intimidating, very aggressive death metal band, to see that there is that soft side. And I think their bass player Alex put it the best way. It's a horror film in a musical context.
Yeah.
When people are asking to describe it, so they're just down to earth people, just trying to live their lives. But this is their loves and stuff. But it's always great seeing like George doing that kind of stuff. A lot of charity work.
He does it all the time. He's the sweetest. Sometimes he even makes that into Metal Hammer and all those music online magazines and stuff, and people are like, oh, he donated again. And I'm like, this is so good, because like you said, they have this intimidating image to a lot of people, and they're like, oh my God, Satanist or whatever, or I don't know, he probably chops up bodies in his basement, which is totally not true. It's just, my mom met him last year, and I was like, Mom, I'm going out with Cannibal Corpse again, and she was like, okay. And then my mom we met up before the tour, and I was like, Mom, I'm going to introduce you to the guys now. My mom, she's like turning 68 this year. And she was like, oh, hi, George. And George was like, hi, Mom, how are you? And my mom was like, he's really nice. This is true. She was like, they're super sweet guys. I love them. I would love to go tour with them. And they're amazing. And if you've ever, and you have sat with George plenty of times on the bus, I bet. And he's just sitting there in his chair, and then someone brings out a charcuterie board. Do you know Johnny Knobs?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Yeah.
They all know each other. We all know each other.
Knobs. Shout out to Knobs. And then the boys bring out a charcuterie board, and George is just sitting there all night and talking to you, and he's just the chillest person ever.
Yeah.
Snacking on cheese.
Yeah. I had one night with him. I wasn't on the tour. They were out doing Mayhem Fest. But Body Count was out on the tour. And I went to visit them, rode on the bus for a couple nights. And so I was sitting on the bus with George. It's late at night. We got the whiskey out.
Of course. The country on, the whiskey out.
And George is just sitting there listening to to NWA, and Ice-T, and we hear a knock on the bus door and open the bus door, and it's Ice-T, and he came up.
The
Body
guy?
count, yeah.
Body
Ice-T
count.
is in body count.
Yeah, and he came up, and for the next hour, I just sat there and watched him and George rapping back and forth, singing to the NWA album, and I was like, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life, and they were having the time of their lives.
I love it. That's gotta be bizarre because you would not expect Ice-T to knock on your door. First of all, I mean, probably more if you're on the same run, but it's still okay. Yeah,
I mean, he's a huge metalhead. You know, he loves metal, and you know, it was just funny. You know, like I said, I hadn't been on the tour, so I didn't realize that these guys had become such good friends.
Right.
So I'm just sitting there kind of going, what is going on right now? This is the weirdest shit ever. It was awesome.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta love those moments.
Yeah.
Are you like a big metalhead, or because a lot of times, and we've had this topic on the podcast multiple times, the heaviest musician, like the guys who play the heaviest music, like the softest country music in their free time.
The sweetest guys
and
too.
Me too. Like I listen to fucking soft country all the time.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I listen to it all. I am a big metalhead. I grew up, you know, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, you know, but there are other sides, you know, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, you know, classic rock, and then into metal, Dio, and then, you know, the 80s thrash started coming out, you know, with the dawn of Metallica and Anthrax, Testament, all of it. And I was lucky to grow up in an area just outside of Ithaca, New York, where Pyramid Studios was. And they did a big amount of the 80s thrash, from Overkill, Anthrax Among the Living, all sorts of stuff, SOD, MOD. So I really got turned on to that at an early age. And then, you know, I toured for a little bit, got off the road, started back up with Coheed, as we talked about a while ago. You know, I knew them since they were little boys. But that, you know, but like bringing like what I enjoyed about mixing metal into bands that weren't really a metal band just kind of worked. And, you know, just, you know, it's a different mindset when you're mixing it, you know, the sounds that you're going for and everything. But yeah, it's funny, you know, as much as I listen to all the metal, you know, yesterday one of the guys came walking in my office, and I'm just sitting in the office, a couple candles lit, it's nice and quiet. I'm just working away listening to Graham Parsons.
Nice.
You know, a little bit of country, or whatever. Patsy Cline or some Billie Holiday.
Oh,
big James Brown fan.
Yeah.
You know,
He was a
Marvin
good one.
Gaye. So I listen to it all.
Listening to it all. So you mentioned before the camera started rolling, that you spent some time in Germany. Did you experience the German Schlager? Or maybe Austrian Schlager?
Oh my God.
You know,
No.
it's our version of country. It sucks.
It's the trashy
It's the worst of the worst.
version of country.
But
It's in German.
But the thing is, in German or Austrian Schlager, this is where the money is at. They make
same country
insane
music in the
amount of
US,
monies.
right?
They
Yeah.
make insane amount of money, and they do insane amounts of drugs, supposedly.
Really?
Yeah, I heard. I've never seen it. I just heard it, and I do believe it. Anyways,
Sure.
you've never experienced the Schlager.
No.
I'm gonna
send you a
play some Schlager
playlist,
for you.
okay?
Yeah, send me a playlist. I'll definitely check it out.
Best of Hansi Hinterseer.
Best
Yeah.
of Helene Fischer.
Okay, so we have to show you the Schlager. You're gonna be hooked on it as the first bar is through. Another question. Coheed Cambria. Do you mind if we show what you did in a video? Do you want to tell us what you did?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Tell us about it.
So, for their album In Keeping Secrets, we had just started the tour, and they were working on making new music videos to support the album. And they rented, it was like kind of a semi-famous, you know, punk bar down in Long Island. And they rented out the place to do the video shoot there. So the premise of the video was, you know, the band on stage playing, which was like a very small little bar stage, and then they played themselves off the stage as spectators watching it. And so we were all having fun trying to figure out fun things to do. And they convinced me to dress in drag and be one of the patrons at the bar. So for the first half of the video, you can only see me from behind with this giant wig on and everything else, and heels and whatever else. And at the end of the video, you see me turn around, you can see my beard and everything else, and it was pretty funny.
Wasn't some of the guys in the video like into you? And was it Trev?
No, it was Mike.
Oh yeah,
It was
and
Mike
then he's
Todd.
like, "Oh, it's a dude."
Yeah,
Or-
well, at the end of the video, you see Mike Todd coming out of the bathroom. Like he just had sex with somebody in the bathroom. Then I came out of the bathroom.
I gotta watch that video.
We're gonna link that
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't mind.
No, it's fine, but-
Y'all gotta see it.
Well, there's an even better part of the story that only a couple of people know. So that was right around Christmas time that we shot the video, and we had very close friends of my wives and mine doing a Christmas party, big dinner party. So we were shooting the video out in Long Island, and the dinner party was in Westchester County. So they agreed to shoot all my parts as early in the day as possible so I could get out of there and make it to this dinner party. So everything, of course, as normal, everything ran late, and they finished shooting my parts. I've still got my wig. I'm in makeup. I'm wearing, dress and nylons and heels. So I take off whatever I can, and I jump in the car, and now I'm speeding from Long Island.
You got pulled over?
I got pulled over. I got pulled over just outside. Yeah.
Did they call you ma'am?
I don't remember what he said to me. He just kind of stared at me, and I just started making up excuses
"Sup,
like, "I'm
officer?"
so sorry," and he's just looking at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" And he ended up not writing me a ticket. I told him the whole story, and he was just kind of chuckling.
Wait, and he was the Coheed Cambria fan, so he said it was fine.
Never heard of him. He was an older New York State trooper. Who at first didn't have any sense, didn't look like he had any sense of humor about it whatsoever. Then when I started explaining that, we were shooting a music video and it ran late and I didn't have time to change and clean up, I think he was still like, well, that's fine, but why were you dressed as a woman? I think he was very confused about that. And then I show up at my friend's dinner party and I come walking in the door and nobody there really knew what I was doing either. And they're just like, what? I was like, I need to use your bathroom for about a half an hour. Now I'm in, at my friend's house, washing up for dinner. And yeah, it was a lot of fun though, And that was another thing, another band that was like family.
Yeah.
And I don't get to see those guys as often anymore. I just ran into Travis this summer.
Alice Dunes? Was he out with Alice?
Yeah,
Dunes?
out with Alice Dunes. Josh, I still see from time to time. He doesn't live too far away. I see his dad all the time.
That's so funny. You said you were knowing the parents before you knew the band.
Yeah, when I first moved to Woodstock, New York, I guess it would have been 89, 1990. I met a couple guys at the local bar, and they had a studio in Woodstock, and it was still a lot of it was still under construction. And Josh and Joey's dad, Jimmy Eppard, was one of the main builders, and what an incredible musician as well. He's one of my favorites. But so it was all of us working at the studio, getting this place built, and then engineering new records as they came in. And Jimmy's two kids, Josh and Joey, they had another friend of theirs, childhood friend, this kid Chris Bittner. And as they grew up, I think I met Josh first when he was probably, 9, 10 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then they formed this band 3, and they were absolutely amazing. And they were the youngest. They actually ended up being the youngest band playing on the main stage at Woodstock '94.
Really?
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, from out in front of house, they looked like they were this big. They were just tiny.
How old were they?
I want to say that the oldest was Joey Eppard. I want to say he was probably 15.
Oh, that's crazy.
Chris Bittner was probably 14 or 15. I think Josh was 14.
Playing at Woodstock in '94.
Yeah,
Holy
and
fuck.
they ended up getting, they got a deal on Universal, and then I can't remember who the merger was. I want to say Seagram's, maybe. There was a merger in the record company at the time, and their album got shelved. and it never went anywhere. And then 3 continued in a bunch of different reiterations for years, but Josh ended up leaving the band, played with a couple other projects, and then joined up in the pre-Coheed band, which was called Shabooti.
Oh, that was great.
They were great.
Yeah.
And they used to play at the music club that I did sound in all the time. So we did like a punk hardcore Monday night. And those guys would play all the time. And, I knew Mike Todd as well when he was pretty young. I think I met Mike probably when he was 13 or 14, just a local scene kid in town. And, then Coheed took off. They did quite a few records at the studio that I'm affiliated with in Woodstock. And then it was just a fluke. They were out. I think they went out for like 2 weeks on Warped Tour. I think that was 2003. And they had fun, but they said, everybody complained the sound sucked and whatever.
They said, we need you, Pete.
They did, I just told them, I said, look, if I'm not busy at the end of the, they were back in the studio recording and keeping secrets. While they were telling me the stories about this. And I said, well, look, if I'm not busy this fall, I know you guys have a tour, I'll come out and help you out for a little while. And it turned into like 4 or 5 years with them. I think first tour I did with them was 2003. And then I think the last tour I did with them was spring of 2008. So 5 years.
Solid.
Yeah.
That was
Amazing.
a good time. To
Yeah,
tour
it was a
with them.
lot of fun.
Great albums in those times. Oh
And the
my
nicest
God.
guys ever as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all of them. I wish I saw them more often, but
Yeah, well, shout out.
yeah.
They listen to our podcast.
Love you boys. Miss you guys.
Someone's turning up the guitar amps out there.
Yes.
Maybe
So
that's a sign because we always go overtime.
maybe we should wrap it up. But we do have
Yeah.
the 2 other frequently asked questions. One was a crazy story or a fun or a good story or bad story. What's your jam? What's your tour jam? The song for you personally?
From the band that I work for?
No.
No, just it could be the song that you tune the PA with, or the song that you listen to when you're on the bus chilling, the song that you listen to when you go out on
Oh
tour.
man,
It's going to be our outro too.
That's a really tough one because I listen to so much stuff.
What about some German Schlager?
Well, hey, next time we talk, I may be the biggest Schlager fan you've ever met. We don't know this yet.
Run a house for Andrea Berg.
That's it. No, I mean, I tune the PA with such weird stuff. But I think, if I had to pick one song that I really enjoy just listening out there every day long, when I'm tuning the PA, it's Exodus Blacklist.
That's going to be the outro of the episode.
That's the outro. It's a good pick.
All right.
We do have one more question. I should have asked it the other way around, but this is such a pro podcast.
We
it
didn't
doesn't
close the door. That's why the guitars are so loud.
Oh well,
That's
we're,
okay.
we're almost done.
It's a music podcast.
We can't have,
got
we can't
guitars.
have
Coming
an
in.
episode without any fuck ups. That's not who we are.
Coming in to play.
No, this is real.
This is we're
Okay.
not like Lady
Sorry.
Gaga, pre-recording. This is, it's pre. Anyways, okay.
Last question.
Last question. Favorite tour snack.
Favorite tour snack? Gummy bears.
Which ones?
Solid.
Albanese, Haribo.
I like the Haribo.
Not
doesn't?
the Albanese.
No,
I love the Haribo too.
I love the Albanese.
The sour ones.
I love the sour ones. I
Coca-Cola?
like the Coca-Colas.
You do?
Yeah.
We're gonna get you those for tonight.
love those.
We're gonna drop them at the front of the house.
We're gonna go watch the show. Can we stand in front of the house?
Absolutely.
Can I look over to? Are you mixing on an S6?
Yep.
Probably. I knew.
I'm
it.
gonna bring some
Y'all
gummy
do.
bears
All
for
the
you.
US guys with their fancy S6.
I love them.
I've never ever mixed a show on.
Oh, you'll love it.
Ever.
Have you ever mixed on a profile?
No.
Really?
We just don't really have them over here.
Yeah.
And we don't tour with them over
You
here.
guys are all Digico over here.
And Ellen and Heath.
Yep.
I have a D-Live. And now I bring it to my US tour, for example, next week. So like I bring my desk a lot of times, and when I have house desks, it's just, I work in hardcore and punk. It's not like biggest venues.
Sure.
They have like M32s or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna watch you mix on that S6 and maybe learn something.
I doubt it.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
I'm a meat and potatoes guy. I have no bells and whistles. It's
I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions.
sure. Absolutely.
I'm just gonna stand there awkwardly and bring gummy
What
beers.
does this button do? What does this button
Is this
do?
the mute? What does muti mean?
Trump's supposed to sound like that.
What if I turn this all the way up?
We're gonna see how the Dropkick Murphys show goes tonight after Connie and I are gonna be.
I mean, maybe I'll just take the night off. Connie, you can mix the show. and
Hell
just
yeah,
sit-
I'll do it.
Vicky will just sit there. We'll have cocktails all evening.
Can I have cocktails and mix?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
So you
Perfect.
have to. All right. Well,
like a fun
let's wrap
night.
this up. You have to go work. We have to do stuff. And we're going to see you tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
No,
This was
thank you
great.
guys for having me. This was
amazing.
awesome.
Finally. You
Yeah.
have some good stories. We need a part 2 at some time. After you listen to all the Schlager.
Absolutely. Well, send me
We're
some
gonna have you
playlists,
back.
and
We
I'll
got
pick
you.
up my favorites, and I'll do a
Make you a
deep dive and
custom
study
one.
some more of it.
Yes.
Pete's Valentine's Day Schlager playlist.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, ladies. I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
your
Thank
time.
you for coming. Happy Valentine's Day. And
Happy
see
Valentine's
you in
Day.
2 weeks.
Absolutely.
When